So do you want to lighten up your room? In today's How to Slice, we're going to be checking out some awesome night lamps. So let's start. So this is the Earth Light. As you can see, it's a really beautiful model. Let's check out the best print configurations to print this beautiful model. So as you can see, this is the Earth model. It looks really nice. And as you can see, there are a lot of countries and continents in this model, so you're gonna be able to see where you're from. So as you can see, this model consists of the Northern Hemisphere and this model right here and the Southern Hemisphere. And there are two clips, so you can join them together over here in these connectors. So as you can see, this is a really big print, but you can print in just one go in your 220 by 220 millimeters build table. So as you can see, this model has a concave right here. It does not need support to print this concave structure, but we're just going to be adding just a tiny bit of paint on support just to make sure that we don't have too many scars in our print. But this model is going to turn out really nice. So let's go to the print settings. Over here in print settings, in layer height, we're going to be selecting layer height right here. As you can see, we're going to be reducing to 0.18 millimeters, so we get a better quality print. As for vertical shells, we're going to leave it at 3. 3 is fine. You can be reducing to 2, but 3 is perfect. As for fill density, we're going to be increasing to 15% just to get a little bit more rigid. As for fill pattern, you can leave it at gyroid. Gyroid is a really nice infill pattern. As for skirt and brim, we're going to be adding just a tiny bit of brim, especially to the Northern Hemisphere right here, because this part, it's really tall, as you can see, and has a really low contact point to the build table. So we're going to be adding brim to both parts right here. So over here in brim type, we're going to select outer brim only. And as for brim width, we're just going to be adding a 5 millimeter brim. This is enough to increase the surface contact area. As for support material, we're going to be generating support material. As we're going to paint, we do not need to auto-generate support material. As for style, we're going to select organic. And for top interface layers, we're going to be reducing to 2 layers just so it's easier to remove. So let's go back and paint on the support. As for speed, before going to painting support, we're going to go to speed. And as you can see, we're just going to be reducing a tiny bit of speed just so we can get all those overhang angles perfectly fine without any issues. And we're going to print with a really good quality. So we're going to be reducing all the values that are at 90 right here, 90 millimeters a second, just to 70 millimeters a second, so we can get a slow speed and better quality print. So as you can see, I just reduced 20 millimeters on every configuration right here, so we can get a better quality print. So we went down to 70 millimeters a second. If you're using Bamboo Studio or Bamboo Printer, sometimes you don't need to reduce too much of the speed, because you can be printing on your standard print settings. So we're back right here, and let's paint on support. So first off, we're gonna select the Northern Hemisphere right here, go to paint, and as you can see, as we increase the highlight overhang, it's gonna show where is most critical. So as you can see, it is this part right here. So we're going to be increasing the brush size and painting all this region. Let's say if sometimes you mess up, you can just click Alt and paint. By clicking Alt, you're going to be erasing any so let's say right here, if you click Alt, Shift actually, I'm so sorry. Shift, you can be erasing what you painted. So as you can see, I just painted under and it's not showing up on the top right here. So this is good. Let's go to the next model. Let's go over here to this model and paint on support. So let's do it again. Paint all the region right here. So this is gonna make a better quality print. So as you can see, this part is not gonna show up in our print because this is the view angle we're gonna have, but it's nice sometimes to add support just so we can get a better quality print. So as you can see, I just painted over here on the right both pieces right here, so it shows that we have painted on support. And let's just slice to see how this project is gonna turn out. So as you can see, we got an error. So by adding 5 millimeters of brim right here, it's coming out of the build table. So what I'm gonna do is just remove the skirt. So this is the skirt right here, and try to position it better so it doesn't have any conflicting parts right here. Can remove the skirt over here in brim and skirt, and loops I selected 0. So let's rearrange so we can fit it all into the build plate. So as you can see, I removed the skirt and try to reposition right here, but it's still not fitting. So I'm gonna be reducing a tiny bit of the brim so it will fit well. So as you can see, you could be printing, adding 5 millimeters of brim and printing separately this model separated to this model. For educational purposes, I'm just going to be reducing a tiny bit of brim. I recommend 5 millimeters of brim, but you can go and print this without any brim. Yes, you could, but I'm going to be reducing to 2 millimeters of brim just so we can fit all the models to one build plate. So as you can see, finally we got all of it into one build plate. As you can see, the brim is a tiny bit smaller, so it fit everything well. There's still a gap, so I could be increasing a tiny bit of the brim. It's at 2 millimeters, and as you can see, we got it support all done and manually painted, so it's gonna turn into a really nice print. And the brim right here is gonna help a lot in this tiny section that has a little bit of a surface contact area. So the model is ready to print. Make sure you check all of our models in stlflex.com, and I'll see you in another How to Slice.
I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STL Flex. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.